So, welcome everyone to our first Live Your Best Life seminar of our webinar series to help people who want to personalize healthcare, personalize holistic healthcare, to learn about different topics of what we call clinical conditions, but different topics about health from an Ayurvedic perspective. We have a team at Live Your Best Life of 25 expert clinicians. Myself, as an MD in the US and a PhD in Ayurveda, I certainly love Ayurveda, but I know how to integrate it. But the 25 clinicians all have experience working with people around the world, including the US and India. And many are based in India because they're Ayurvedic or yoga experts. And we are going to have a series of seminars where we introduce these clinical conditions. Our first topic is diabetes, and we have someone who has been practicing diabetes for a very long time. Dr. Gohar Vatsyayan has a bachelor's of Ayurvedic medicine and surgery, which is considered an Ayurvedic physician's degree. In addition, he has done a master's in Ayurveda, which is called an MD Ayurveda. He's a senior Ayurvedic physician at Live Your Best Life, and he has been practicing medicine, Ayurvedic medicine with over 15 years of experience in metabolic health issues and diabetes. And today he's going to talk to us about diabetes care. He's the founder of several successful Ayurveda centers. And because he's licensed in India as an Ayurvedic physician, he is able to do a lot of work helping you to understand what things are going to work for you, both in terms of your lifestyle, supplements that you're taking, medicines that you're taking, foods that you could or could not be eating. And he's going to talk a little bit about that. He specializes in diabetes management with us, and he regularly conducts health camps throughout Southeast Asia, including Singapore, Indonesia. And he is a frequent speaker in media such as radio and television. He's been featured on several podcasts on Spotify internationally, and he's dedicated with the rest of us to providing holistic care through Ayurveda. I welcome you, Dr. Gohar, and we look forward to listening about diabetes. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bhaswati, and hello and welcome to all. Welcome to this webinar series on lifestyle and chronic disorders. I'm Gohar Vatsyayan, an Ayurveda specialist here practicing in India since last 15 years, as Dr. Bhaswati said. So today's topic is one of the most, important topics regarding diabetes mellitus. And among all the kind of lifestyle disorders and chronic disorders, diabetes mellitus always stands apart. So before I, start my topic, I have a very interesting story to share. So, before just 1 year back, since 1 year back, our health and clinical team had been working hard on many patients regarding with the protocol of integrative medicine. And we have seen over 100 patients and many of diabetes mellitus. And this lady with whom about whom I'll be talking today, 55 years of age, working lady, a CEO of a very big company in USA, approached us. And, her complaint was that her sugar was not being controlled, although she was taking glucophage rather irregularly, but she wanted something more. So, we put her on the protocol of LYBL, and when I took her history, I observed that there are a lot of aberrations in her lifestyle. She's not taking any proper diet. She's not doing any exercise. So in a span of just few months, she was put on some herbal supplements, as well as she was given a proper diet protocol. She started doing her exercises. She also started to take her glucophage regularly. And, over a period of just 90 days, she saw a tremendous change. Her HbA1c levels, they came down from 14.2 to just 7.7. This was actually quite miraculous. And what she told that, when she approached any conventional doctor, certain things were not discussed with her regarding her lifestyle, regarding her body composition, what will suit her, what she should eat, what kind of exercises she should do. So this is what we will talk to you about today. So in this throughout the journey, I'll talk to you how integrative medicine and holistic medicine is helping people across the globe in improving their lifestyle. So today's agenda, I'll be talking about diabetes mellitus, its complications. So I don't want to make this talk very academic. I'll be trying to make the talk very friendly, very amicable, and kind of an interactive session we'll be having. So, just a small introduction regarding diabetes mellitus. Everyone knows that whenever we have uncontrolled sugar, that arises due to the insufficient production of insulin or insulin insensitivity, we land into diabetes mellitus. Now, interestingly, when we're talking about Ayurveda, see, Ayurveda, the traditional and the ancient Indian medical system, it was the first documented medical system which actually wrote about the symptoms of diabetes. In Ayurveda, diabetes is considered as a disorder of urine and it is referred to as prameha. Prameha is caused by an imbalance of the kapha dosha, your potential energy, along with the vitiation of your medas. That means that your fat metabolism deranges. Then, along with your mamsa dhatu, that is your muscle, and kleda, that is the fluid elements. So this prameha is actually a very general term. And within the prameha, we have another term known as madhumeha. Madhumeha means which sweet urine. So sweet urine was the first symptom which was established by the father of surgery, that is Sushrut, in his compendium Sushrut Samhita. So generally, both prameha as well as madhumeha are equally used to describe diabetes mellitus 2 in Ayurveda. Now, when we talk about Ayurveda, see, since last few years, what we had thought that diabetes is irreversible. Once you are stuck up with diabetes mellitus, you need to continue with it. But recent researchers have interestingly have showed us very interesting results. What they have
Yeah.
shown is that if we lose around 15 kgs of body weight, there are very strong chances that diabetes mellitus can be reversed. And the reason behind this is because when we start losing our weight, when we start losing our fat around the pancreas, long thought that the beta cells of your pancreas, once they die, they don't revert back. But now they have been proved that when you lose weight very fast, that is around 1 gram of fat on your pancreas or 15 grams of body fat, the amount of insulin in the body rises to its normality as well as the diabetes comes to its normalcy. So this is one point which I wanted to discuss, that diabetes is actually a very strong lifestyle disorder. So what when we refer to lifestyle, what exactly come in the lifestyle, we'll be discussing further. So how common is diabetes? This is actually a very interesting. Everyone knows because in USA, you if you look at any street, you will not find any guy or any.
Total ఏమైనా చూస్తాం కాంగ్రెస్
Sorry, I think could everyone just mute their mics first because there's a kind of disturbance coming in between. Right. Thank you. Right. So how common is diabetes? You go across any street of USA, you won't find any. You will always find some person who is obese. And both obesity as well as diabetes mellitus, they are both interrelated with each other. And the reason the diabetes is increasing in USA as well as in North America is, because of a lot of usage of processed foods. Your morning regimen is not correct. Your sleeping regimen is not correct. So there are multiple reasons to it. Why diabetes is becoming like an epidemic in North America, especially in USA. So 27.3 million people or 11.3% of the US population have diabetes. And more than this, majority of the USA population are pre-diabetic. Now the worst part is many of the people who are pre-diabetic don't develop any symptoms and they don't even realize that they're pre-diabetic. So everyone has to go through some kind of investigations to realize that they're pre-diabetic. And more than this, what Ayurveda talks is it talks about the body composition. The body composition means if your constitution is towards kapha, then obviously you are more susceptible in getting diabetes, which, in integrative medicine, we talk about how your body composition is. So, and especially in the people who are having BMI less than 24, there monitoring your serum insulin levels as well as your stress management is very, very important. Now, when we talk about stress, now how stress plays an important role in diabetes, especially when people who are chronically afflicted by stress, their cortisol levels increase in the body, their vata levels increase in the body. And when vata dosha is increased, now vata dosha is a kinetic energy. So when vata gets vitiated along with kapha because of your bad eating habits, now both of these doshas have antagonistic properties. And when they combine with each other, that actually, develops into a very dreadful diabetes mellitus. So any patient, any person who is suffering from diabetes mellitus or madhumeha, how do you assess? But it's both for the doctors as well as for the patients. Now, first thing is first, you have to observe what is your BMI. Are you obese or not? Because if you're obese, obviously the first thing which comes into your mind is to lose weight. When you start losing your weight, recognizing what doshas are you, what body composition do you belong to, then definitely that helps you in getting sugar under control. Do you move around a lot? What kind of lifestyle do you live? Do you live a lot of sedentary lifestyle? And are you consuming a rich glycemic index food? For example, corn syrups, breads, wheat. All these things have a lot of high glycemic index. And is there a family history? For example, if one of your parents is suffering from diabetes, there are very huge chances that if you're not following the proper lifestyle and proper regimen, there are huge chances that you will land into diabetes by the time you turn around 40 or 45. And are you suffering from any diabetes complication? Because that sets the tone of the integrative medicine treatment. Now, when we talk about gut, now this is again a very important concept. Whoa! Sorry. I think there is again some disturbance. I request everyone to please mute their mics. Thank you. So, there is a concept of Agni in Ayurveda. That's a very interesting concept. What Ayurveda says that Agni, which is your digestive fire, if your Agni is very good, that propels your tissue metabolism. And if your Agni is not very good, that actually means that your tissue metabolism goes down. So this translates that your gut microbiome is again very, very important to maintain your diabetes. Now, if your gut is not working properly, obviously there is, the absorption of glucose through your intestine is altered. And when that happens, even if you're doing all kind of right lifestyle, you're eating right, but if your gut is not working properly, then again there will be problem. And this is where integrative medicine comes into play. During when we are treating the patient as per the Ayurveda principles, for us, maintaining the gut, maintaining the flora and fauna of the gut becomes very, very important. Now, if the gut is okay, obviously that will improve to the insulin insensitivity also. Now, this is actually the current modality of the treatment everyone must be knowing, which is available in the market in the US in the form of glucophage, Fortamet, teneligliptin. So all these are the medicines, conventional medicines, which every diabetic patient is using. Now, what exactly is integrative and holistic medicine? What exactly is live your best life doing to prevent all these things? Now, combination of herbal supplements, yoga, lifestyle modifications, and dietary recommendations. Now, all these things are taken into account after looking into the individual composition or the constitution of the body. Now, why is that important? Ayurveda believes that no one person is same. Every person has a different constitution. So, while we are dealing with the integrative medicine, looking into the individual constitution becomes very, very important. So what happens? We regulate the metabolism with the gut flora and fauna. With this, the balancing of the kapha and the vata dosha happens, which actually improves your glucose control, which prevents further complications. In Ayurveda, the term, as I told you before, the prameha term is used, and there is a very interesting sutra. It says Prameha Anushangani, which means that diabetes is one such disorder which actually doesn't remain free of complications. That once a patient lands into diabetes and the sugar is controlled, there are huge chances that one or the other complications arises. And interestingly, diabetes is one such disorder which actually affects all other organs, whether it is heart, whether it is eyes, whether it is bones and your muscles. No organ in the body is left unaffected when you suffer from high blood sugar. So let's start with diabetic neuropathy. So this is one of the most commonest complications any patient who has a diabetes. Whenever a patient with diabetes is there, whether if your sugar is controlled or uncontrolled, after some years, because your fat metabolism, your kapha dosha is still not under control. This leads to a depletion of your medodhatu over your nerves, which leads to the injury on the nerves, and that leads to neuropathy. You have patients coming with tingling sensation, paresthesia, or that is a change in sensation. So these are the symptoms which are usually found in the patients of diabetes mellitus and diabetic neuropathy. And specifically for these kind of patients, we have numerous herbs which are scientifically tested. Now, one of them is gymnema, quite popular in USA also by the name of Godamara, and then is bijaka. Now, both of these herbs, they actually reduce the kapha, they balance the vata in the body, and the bala, that is Sida cordifolia, the third herb which you're watching on the screen, it increases the nerve strength. So all these three herbs, when given in a combination, they actually help in the glucose metabolism, and side by side, they also improve the condition of the nerves. Now, yoga. When we talk about yoga in USA, again, it's a very, what people think is that yoga is just postures. And that is not the case. Yoga in Sanskrit means union of mind with the whole consciousness. So when yoga is done in proper regimen along with the breathing exercises, it leads to a reduction in vata, as well as it also leads to a reduction in cortisol levels. Yoga guided breaths increase your oxygen and your rest and digest parasympathetic vagus nerve action. It also helps in the improvement of the circulation. Now, again, what I want to tell you is yoga is again very important part of integrative medicine, because yoga in Sanskrit, the term yoga, as I told you, is known as union, and there is another term known as yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Chitta vritti means anything which actually upholds the aberrations of your mind. That is also yoga. So again, yoga is a very wide term, but these days what Americans think is that this is just postures, and yoga is not just postures. Now we'll talk about lifestyle. So what we have observed is that whenever you go to a conventional doctor, you just take the medicine, tell your history, the doctor diagnoses. What unfortunately what we have observed is that many of the doctors, they forget to tell you that what kind of lifestyle to lead. Okay, the doctor will tell you lead this lifestyle, do this and do that. Sometimes these things are also lost. And even if the doctor tells you what exactly comes in the lifestyle, so just a brief introduction. Every person knows, okay, I need to take care of my lifestyle and to improve my lifestyle, but no one knows what actually comes in the lifestyle. So very few points. Lifestyle includes dinacharya. Dinacharya means the morning regimen. Then Ratri Charya, that is your night regimen. What exactly, at what time you should sleep, at what time you should have your dinner. So this all comes in the night regimen. Then comes your seasonal regimen, that is Ritu Charya, because USA is a very vast country, and every area of USA has a specific seasons, which for example, if you go to New York, which is actually very coastal, quite windy also, it has a different effect over the body. So in what season, what to eat and what not to eat is very important. That comes in seasonal regimen. Then comes your food, your ahar. Now food, when we talk about food, I've written a point in mindful eating. We people have actually forgotten how to eat properly. So whenever we are eating, either the TV is on, or we are surfing on our Instagrams, on our mobile phone, or we are talking to someone. We are full of emotions, angry sometimes. So whenever we are doing these things and eating our food side by side, our tamas, our tamas increases. Actually, that is, the bad part of your mind increases, and you feel lethargic sometimes, you feel malice sometimes. So mindful eating is very important. What I tell my patients is, whenever you're eating, you should keep away your distractions, keep away your mobile phone, switch off your TV, and just concentrate over your food. That helps, that goes a very long way to improve your health. So now we come to diabetic cardiomyopathy. So, this is again one of the most important. You come across many patients who are suffering from diabetes mellitus, having the symptoms of breathlessness. Sometimes their limbs are heavy, lightheadedness is there, a lot of fatigue is there, limb swelling is there. So this diabetic cardiomyopathy is again a very, these days you're also finding that young people of 30 years of age, 35 years of age, having problems of the heart. And this is where integrative medicine comes into play. So this Arjuna, or Terminalia Arjuna, is a scientifically tested herb which has been used since time immemorial to improve the contractions of the heart. Then again, Pushkar Mula, or Inulera racemosa, again improves the contractions of the heart, dilates the cardiac muscles, and improves the circulation. After this, we'll come down to diabetes erectile dysfunction. Now, diabetes erectile dysfunction is one such area which actually affects both men as well as women, because when your sexual life is getting affected, obviously that starts to there is a problem in your relationships, and ultimately the marriage falls apart. So decreased libido and sexual stamina are some of the major side effects in diabetes. And difficulty in erection can affect the psychology of a person, especially of a man, because his psychology is tied towards the erection. And reduced muscle strength and nerve weakness contribute to erectile dysfunction. And specifically when we talk about herbs, so lotus stem, ashwagandha, that is Withania somnifera. This actually is an Indian herb. It's an Indian weed, which actually is very, very potent to increase the blood circulation and improve the penile erection. Now, why erectile dysfunction? As I told you that erectile dysfunction, whenever a person is suffering from this problem, it destroys the person's self-esteem. And usually what happens is that many of the people, they start with the conventional line of treatment, and there are tremendous side effects of other medicines, which in integrative medicine we try to prevent. So Ayurveda herbal formulations increase the blood flow in penile muscle and improve the erection without any side effects. So, this was a small picture of how integrative medicine is helping the patients of chronic disorders and lifestyle disorders. Whenever a patient of chronic disorder, starts with the integrative medicine, as an Ayurvedic physician, we go deep into the soul. There is a small term in Sanskrit, it knows aturasya antaratmanam. It says until and unless we don't go deep into the soul of the patient, we can't do any treatment. So this is where we actually are helping the patients of lifestyle disorders. When the conventional doctors, they fail to interact with the patient to tell what exactly you need, what diet you want to have, what kind of exercise you should need. This is where integrative medicine paving a very big part, and it's becoming gradually which helps patient to overcome and improve the quality of the life. So, I think now hand over my stage to Dr. Bhaswati to please continue with the further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vyatsayan. So we are going to finish, and we thank you very much for your interest in Live Your Best Life and what we are doing. We are going to have our next seminar announced very soon. So please come and visit our website and see what we're doing. Stay in touch with us. Get your friends on our mailing list so they also get information, and do interact with us. Do write to us, and stay in touch. So thank you very much to Dr. Gohar, and thank you very much to the whole team that showed up on a late Saturday evening to interact. Dr. Lula, the head of the clinical team, thank you so much. And Dr. Nikhila is also here. She put some information in the chat, and she's head of our lifestyle team, and she is working on wellness protocols as well as the diet and food and lifestyle we'll say tips and modules and blogs that you'll be getting as part of your diabetes education when you work with us. So thank you so much, everyone. I wish you a lovely morning, a lovely evening, and a lovely afternoon. See you next time. Namaste. I'm Dr. Bhaswati Bhattacharya, Medical Director of the Live Your Best Life initiative that we've started. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.